You got questions, I got answers. Let's get into the Q&A.
DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. It's Friday, August the 8th, almost 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. That is when I'm recording this video. You are watching this, of course, on Saturday. It came out August 9th. This is the Q&A. For those who don't know, I do this every Friday. I record the video. Every Saturday, the video comes out. Where basically, I'm going to take all the comments from the previous week's Q&A video, and I'm going to respond to each question that is listed in the comments, as long as people ask me a good question, or if it's not just a statement that somebody makes. So I'm going to go right into these questions. Again, as you don't know, I have not read any of these questions beforehand, so I have no idea what anyone's going to ask me. Any orders of business we need to clear up? I don't think so. First of all, the Kickstarter campaign for me to go play against the Verse 1 Federation. It's only a few days left in that campaign. Is it going to make it? Is it not going to make it? Right now, we are not even halfway there. If you support the campaign, there are rewards that you get. So it's not like you just putting up money and not getting nothing for it. It's not charity. You actually are getting something for it that is worth more than what you will put up. So understand that. For those who don't know, you can check that out at the link below in the video description. You can also go to my website, DreAllDay.com. You'll see right on the sidebar, there's a widget for seeing that Kickstarter campaign. I don't think there's anything else to go over. You already know the Nike Summer Series video. I have put that out. That is the featured video on my channel. So if you just click on my name down there where it says Dre Baldwin, and you go to my channel, that video is right there on autoplay, so you'll see the video. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Tomorrow morning, Sunday, August 10th, Flamingo Park, Miami Beach. There will be a meetup, working your game meetup. I will be there. Anybody want to come through, say what's up. You want to talk basketball, you want to ask some questions, you want to shoot around, do some drills, get some tips on your game, whatever you want. Come through. It's completely free. It's not going to cost you anything. Open Park, Flamingo Park, Miami Beach. Those of you who don't know where that is, you can just Google the park. Everybody knows where Flamingo Park is if you're in South Florida. 8 o'clock a.m. I'll be out there for an hour, maybe two, depending on how many people show up. So come check it out. Don't cost you nothing. Just tweet me at Dre All Day if you're coming through. I will be out there. Let's get into it. First question. Marquise Hercules. So I'm going to be 14 on the 18th of this month. Happy birthday early, Marquise. I'm 5'7", I weigh 130 pounds. I'm left-handed. I'm athletic. I like to drive to the hole. Finally developed a jump shot, but I struggle with getting my shot off, like using my right hand or driving period, and I have jumper's knee. All right, so you got a lot of problems. I'm gonna be a freshman in high school, and I wanna make a big impact. What tips or drills would I have so he can make an impact and star on JV or even make varsity as a freshman? I'm a huge inspiration, and any advice is greatly appreciated. All right, Marquise, well, first of all, I'm glad to hear that I'm an inspiration to you in the things that you're doing in basketball. Let's just take these issues one by one. First of all, let's look at the reality of it. You 5'7" or 5'8", you weigh 130 pounds. Your issues are getting your shot off. That is a big issue at your size. You need to be able to get your shot off. Using your right hand and driving period, and you have jumper's knee. First of all, with jumper's knee, DreAllDay.com/jumper's knee. There's a program myself and my guy Jacob from over at the Jump Manual put together that'll take care of your jumper's knee right away. Number 2, using your right hand. If you on YouTube now, go to the search bar up top, type in Dre Baldwin left hand. I got 2 left hand daily circuit videos that if you start doing those, just switch it to your right hand since you're left-handed. You're left-handed, so switch it to your right hand. Do the exact same drills with your right hand. Keep doing those drills. I guarantee within 2 weeks you're going to see marked improvement in your handle, and you keep doing those drills. I'm talking months and months, 2 months, 6 months, or whenever the season starts. Your right hand will be a lot better than it is now. I guarantee you that. Those are videos on YouTube right now that you can get. Getting your shot off. That's creating space with the dribble. At your size, you need to be able to create space with your dribble. You need to shake players off. You don't necessarily have to shake them off, but you need to be able to create space, whether that be blowing by people, making people respect your space, or just using your ball handling. I got a bunch of drills and stuff on that, but I do have a lot of content on this website, YouTube, so I know it's hard to kind of figure out where to start, what to do, what not to do. I would suggest you check out my website, hoophandbook.com, where I have a lot of training programs. At your size, you're playing a point guard position. I would say Tony Parker's a good one, Darren Williams, Derrick Rose, Chris Paul, Kyrie Irving. Those are all players who have signature workout programs on the site, 30-day detailed programs that will take you completely through the workout. All you got to do is read it and do what it says. There's no guesswork involved. hoophandbook.com. I got plenty of programs that'll help somebody in your situation to get better. Any questions, you can email me, Dre@DreAllDay. All right, next question. That's a good first question. GM Canlas says, I got 2 questions. What's your shoe size? What do you think about Paul George and his leg injury? I wear a shoe size 13. And what I think about Paul George and his leg injury is a freak accident. I mean, some people are saying, oh, because the stanchion was too close to the sideline. Listen, Paul George could have got injured playing ball at his local rec in his hometown, just playing against his friends one day. So you can get injured doing anything. He could get injured in practice at Team USA. He could get injured in the first game of the FIBA World Cup tournament. So I'm not going to blame the stanchion, even though it was a little bit closer, yes. But anything can happen at any given time. It's a freak injury. It's sad to see him get hurt because he's one of the better players in the game. So it makes the whole game of basketball worse when we have fewer good players available. So hopefully Paul George recovers fully and he's back to being himself about a year from now, which is about how long it would take for that injury. Next question. Heat Blast 1231 says, how can I get taller? Well, Heat Blast, once I figure that out, I'm going to patent the idea and I'm going to sell it for $1 billion. But until then, you're just going to have to work with what you got. Whatever size you are, develop your skill, work on your attitude and your mental focus. Those are the things you can't control. You cannot make yourself taller. Dimitri Tukovic says, have I seen Paul George's injury? What do I think about it? Will he come back and be the same player again? So I've already addressed that. I'm sure you won't be the last person, Dimitri, to ask that in this. Next question, Gavin Queen Name says, how do I think the Pacers will deal with the Paul George injury, especially since Lance Stephenson's gone? Do I think Roy Hibbert can carry the team? How will the Pacers deal with it? They'll probably try to sign some players who can provide some scoring punch. They're not going to find anybody who can replace Paul George at this point in the offseason. They lost Lance Stephenson too, who's also a great scorer. So I think the Pacers have gotten worse this offseason in general. They've gotten worse. They lost Lance, now they lost Paul George. They got worse. I don't think they're a playoff team right now. Can Roy Hibbert carry the team? No, because Roy Hibbert's not really an offensive player. Roy Hibbert's value is on defense. So I don't think the Pacers are even going to make the playoffs this year, barring some crazy unforeseen move that happens where they get an all-star player. They don't have any right now, and that's that. Philip Asiyama says, after the Paul George injury, do you think Team USA can still win the World Championships over the likes of Spain and France? All right, so a lot of Team USA questions. I like watching Team USA. I'm excited to watch this team play. Very excited to see Derrick Rose again. I want to see how Kyrie does there. Now we know that Kevin Durant's not playing. I'm sure somebody's going to mention that a little bit higher up in the comments. Kevin Durant's not playing. Paul George is not playing. Kevin Love dropped out because he cited his free agency. Didn't really make sense to me for him to drop out because of that, but he can do whatever he wants to do. Maybe Kevin Love will come back at the last minute. Now that KD's out, Team USA is not a lock to win this tournament. I was telling a friend of mine a few days ago, even with Kevin Durant, this team is not guaranteed to win. It's in Spain. Spain is the #1 team besides the USA to beat. They lost to the USA the last 2 big tournaments they played against them. The 2008 Beijing and that gold medal game when Kobe hit several big shots. And then in 2012 in London, same thing happened. 2010 we beat Turkey when Kevin Durant was dominating. In 2008 we had Kobe, we had Wade, on fire Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Melo. None of those guys are playing now. 2012, same thing. Kobe again, LeBron James was killing, Kevin Durant. None of those guys are playing. We're not sending our best players over there right now. Not even our best team, period. Spain has got everybody. Every Spanish player who can play, who's good, is playing. Because for those countries, it's more about national pride and representing your country in every international tournament. They rarely take tournaments off, whereas in the United States, we don't look at it as that big. The NBA is a way bigger game than the international competitions to American players, which is why we don't always send our best players over. We got to go get our ass kicked, and then the next tournament, everybody takes it serious. Like, we got our ass kicked in 2004 in Greece. 2008, we had all our best players, and we won the tournament. 2010, we sent kind of a B team, but Kevin Durant carried them. They won the gold medal. 2012, we got our best players again. Kobe, LeBron, etc., Melo, Chris Paul. We won the tournament again. Now here's 2014, nobody cares again. So we might need to get our ass kicked over there for people to take it serious come 2016. And where's the 2016 games? I don't even know. Somebody can tell me in the comments. The question is, do I think Team USA can still win? Yes, Team USA can still win because #1, we had the most talent. Team USA has the most talent. They have one of the best coaching staffs with Coach K and his guys. We still got a lot of great players. Kyrie Irving Actually, let me not say Kyrie Irving. I'm going to say Derrick Rose is one of the best players. He's back healthy, I think. It appears he's back healthy. We got a lot of questions at the big position. Who are our bigs going to be? Anthony Davis, I think, is going to be excellent as long as he can stay out of foul trouble. In the international competition, NBA bigs always seem to get in crazy foul trouble because the refs call the game a lot differently. Especially since our bigs are more athletic, they get called for a lot of BS fouls. So hopefully that doesn't keep Anthony Davis off the court. James Harden, I think, is going to be a huge player. He might be the go-to guy as far as putting the ball in the basket for this team. I don't even remember who else is on the roster because I haven't really been looking that hard. But I think USA can still win because we do have the most talent. Is it a shoo-in? It is absolutely not. I think Spain has fire in their eyes, and this is all about pride for them. They done lost to us twice in a row. This is the last time around for a couple of those guys, especially Pau Gasol, who is their leader. He's their best player. He don't want to go out having lost to these dudes 3 years in a row, especially in his own country. So that game, if Team USA and Spain actually end up meeting, that's going to be a hell of a game. I will be front row in front of a TV somewhere watching that. Can USA win? Yes. Will they win? I'm not guaranteeing that at all. Next question. Alex Hisinch says, Dre, you're an amazing inspiration. Thank you, Alex. He says, I want to know how you're liking the new hyper dunks. I saw you wearing them in NYC for the finish line thing, and how was that experience to film the finish line? Well, I was referring to some posts I did on Instagram. Those of you not following me, my Instagram is at Dre Baldwin, one word. And he asked me about the hyper dunks. But the hyper dunks, I wore them that day of the shoot when we were filming something for Finish Line called The Fundamentals. Y'all will see about that very soon. It is social media driven, and it is it's driven by the users, driven by people like you. So y'all will be involved in what actually happens with that. We already filmed the part we're gonna do. Y'all gonna do the rest, and y'all hear details about that when it comes out. I believe it's gonna be in September. But anyway, I wore the hyper dunks that day during the shoot. We didn't actually like play basketball because we was outside on this outdoor court. It had rained the previous day. All we were actually doing was doing a lot of filming. So some guys did some dribbling, I did some dunking. We did stuff like that, but it wasn't like live action basketball, so I can't really say how the hyper dunks are as far as playing in them, quote unquote, but they feel great. I'm a huge hyper dunks fan. I'm actually gonna get the 2014 hyper dunks. I don't actually have them in my possession right now because I just used those that day, but I am gonna have them soon. When I get those, what I'm gonna do is go over how I feel about each pair of hyper dunks I own, because I got about 5 or 6 different pairs from different years. I got almost every hyper dunk that ever came out. I think I'm missing 1 year, but when I get to making that video, y'all will see. So I can't really give you a complete overview of the hyper dunk yet because I don't actually have it in my possession. I haven't really played hard in it yet, but when I do, I will make a video about that. I got a couple videos coming reviewing a couple other pairs of sneakers, even though it's not something I normally do. I see a lot of you are interested in that, and since y'all are my audience, y'all are fans, y'all want to see me talk about the sneaks I wear. I am a basketball player. I do wear sneaks every time I play, so I will do that. I will get to that very soon. Man, some good questions today. I'm talking a lot in this early. Worm Chemistry says, I noticed that you land on one leg after a jump shot. Wouldn't it be safer to land on both legs? Well, what do you mean by safer? I mean, if you want to be safe, the best thing to do would be not play sports at all, because you get injured, just like Paul George did. I don't consider it to be dangerous to land on one leg. I mean, I've been doing it for a long time. Sometimes I land on 2 legs, sometimes I land on 1. So it's not like, I don't look at it like what would be safer. If you want to be safe playing basketball, you probably shouldn't be playing basketball at all. So I don't ever use the word safe in basketball. It really doesn't make any sense. Harry Sherwood says, Dre, thanks for the videos. You've helped me become a better player. I'm glad to hear that, Harry. You're welcome. Recently, I was being tightly defended by someone stronger than me, and as a result, I panicked and just passed the ball. Do you have any tips to beat a defender who is playing tight defense and is stronger just as quick as you? Well, first thing you need to do, Harry, is improve your own game so that you don't go into basketball games worrying about what the other guy can do. If you go into any situation worrying about what the other guy can do, you're setting yourself up for defeat. You're setting yourself up for failure because you put your mind in a position that, oh, this guy can do this, this, and this. Now that's all your mind is thinking about. Think about what you can do. Make them worry about what you're doing, not you worrying about what they're doing. If you go into a fight with somebody and all you're worried about is how fast they are and how hard they hit and how they never fall even when they get punched a couple times, how are you going to beat that person? You need to concern yourself with what you're capable of, not what they're capable of. As far as the actual skill of doing something, when you get the ball, somebody's playing tight defense, you need to use your jab steps, get into a triple threat position, use your body. Remember that basketball is a contact sport. I would suggest you check out the jab step / triple threat hoop handbook. That is available at hoophandbook.com. It's called jab step / triple threat. You can just use the search bar, you'll find it. There's a lot of programs on that site. Next question. Scott Murphy says, Dre, what's your vertical? He says, what's Dre's vertical? I guess he didn't know Dre would be answering this question. Well, Scott, I have not had my vertical measured in a long time. Last time was about 3 years ago, summer 2011. I haven't had it measured since then, so I don't really know, but the vertical jump measurement is not really important in basketball. I know a lot of you young players, or players period, talk about the vertical jump because it's like one number that you compare to somebody else. It's like guys in the weight room saying, how much can you bench, or what's your max bench? It's cool if one guy can bench 300 and the other guy can bench 250. It doesn't necessarily mean the guy benching 300 is better than the other guy. He can lift a heavier weight one time, which is what it is. That's all vertical jump is, how high you can jump one time. That has nothing to do with what's going to happen in the game. In a game, you jump multiple times. Most of the time when you jump in a game, you're not even getting to your max vertical. You're jumping for a rebound, you're jumping from a standstill position, you're jumping after you just bumped into somebody or somebody bumped into you. So it's not really about how high you can jump as a vertical. It's about what kind of player are you, period. What kind of athlete are you? If you take a 6'4" guy who could jump 35 inches, and then you take a 5'9" guy who could jump 42 inches, who's going to have more effect in the game with their actual vertical jumping? The 6'4" guy is, because the 6'4" guy is going to get up above the rim, rebounding, blocking shots, scoring in the paint, probably a lot more than that 5'8" guy with his 42-inch vertical. Now, he might get a breakaway and dunk it, and the crowd's going to go crazy, and everybody's going to remember it, and it'll be on YouTube because he's 5'8" and he dunked. Yes, but that one highlight don't make a whole season. We talking 30 games, 40 games, 82 games, depending on the level of basketball you play at. So vertical jump, it's cool to have a nice vertical jump number, but what matters is what you're actually doing in the game. Can you affect the game? Players come to me and say, I'm almost dunking, I want to be able to get up and dunk, and I'm 5'7". Listen, a 5'7" guy who can dunk is not going to affect the game more than a 6'6" guy with a 10 inches less vertical, because a 6'6" guy is going to affect the game more often with his length, with challenging shots. 5'7" guy ain't blocking those shots. He ain't protecting the rim. He's probably not going to grab that many rebounds. So it's not really about how high you jump. It's about what do you do as a player in the game. There is no point in the basketball game where they stop and say, all right, let's measure everybody's vertical. Whoever has the highest gets 10 points for their team. That doesn't happen. What happens is you put the ball in the basket to score. Whether that you use a vertical jump, whether you don't, most of the time you need skill to even get there. There are players who can jump higher than anybody in the NBA who ain't in the NBA because they ain't got no game. They can't dribble, pass, or shoot. So can you do those things? What do you do most of in a basketball game? You're dribbling, you're passing, you're shooting. You do that a lot more than we're just all just jumping and trying to dunk the basketball. Even I don't care if you're LeBron James. LeBron James don't dunk that much. LeBron James dunks maybe 2 times per game. If you average out all his dunks all season with the number of games he played, 2 times per game maybe. And that's one of the top dunkers in the league. Guys who dunk the most are usually the big guys, the 7-footers, because they're around the rim all the time. That's where they take all of their shots. All you guards, you 6'5" and under, your ability to dunk is not going to make or break you as a player. Your ability to play. Can you dribble, shoot, pass? Those are the things that will matter. Can you play defense? Are you in the right position? Do you know where you're supposed to be on offense and defense? Those matter a lot more than how high you can jump one time. Next question. Fresh LB15. He says, Dre, I play in a rec league on the best team. I was not a big part of the team because it was a good team. I had to play a lot of small forward against bigger guys. We had 2 shooters. I didn't do much except passes and play defense. I've been working on my shooting, and I'm really relying on now. I get to the rim, I can finish and do anything possible to finish, but I get scared to drive because I don't know how good my handles are. I get scared to get blocked. I miss layups under the basket because the big guy is close to me. I want to make the team at this school year, but I need to be able to drive. What program can I use to develop handles and drive and driving to the basket in general? What program? Well, I don't know what your size is, Fresh LB15, but I would suggest you take a look at the signature workout programs available at hoophandbook.com and figure out, based on your game and where you want to take your game, which players' skills would you say you want to most add to your games? We basically got every star player in the NBA is covered on the hoophandbook.com website. As I mentioned earlier, we got some new programs coming out. You're going to see the video about that coming very soon. Probably be out, might be out already. I might already put the video out. You got to ask yourself, which player whose skills do I most want to add to my game? And again, as you go on the site, as you click on each player's program, you'll see a detailed description of what's in each program, so you know what you be getting if you get a certain player. For example, LeBron James. There's a lot of driving in that. Kyrie Irving. If you look at a guy like Steph Curry, that's going to be more angled towards creating your own shot off the dribble. That's one of Steph Curry's best skills. Of course, there is some driving in it because he doesn't take every shot from 3 points, but is very focused on the things that he does the most, that he does the best. And he's a shooter. Look at a guy like Kyrie Irving. He has a lot of handles. He gets to the paint. He's very slithery. He's very shifty with his movements. You look at a guy like KD. He has some shape to his game. He does a lot of straight line driving. James Harden, something similar. So just look at those players and decide which player's skills you want to most bring into your game, and that's the player's program that you should go with. You can always get more than one. Next question. DJ Blaze 206. You said that 50 Cent is your favorite entertainer. I did say that. So have I ever read The 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene? If I did, what do I think about the book? Of course I read The 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene. If you actually go on my website, dreallday.com, click on the link that says Books I Read, you'll see that I actually posted a review of that book. It's actually one of my top 5 favorite books of all time. So if you go to my website and click on that link, you can actually read what I think about that book. But yes, I absolutely read that book. I read books almost as much as I work out. So any books you want to know if I read, go to that link on my website that says Books I Read, and you'll see a list of all the stuff I've read. Anthony Aguilar says, can you make a video where you show how to have the same form every time you shoot? Like, show us steps, because I struggle with the same form when I shoot. Anthony, you go to the search bar up top there, type in Dre Baldwin, type in perfect shooting form. I have already made that video. Your question is answered in that video. Mr. Ducky 2000 says, what is the fundamentals thing that you've been posting on Instagram about? When will it be uploaded? What channel will upload it? Alright, so there's the fundamentals thing, the finish line thing that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Y'all will see when it comes out. That is a finish line production. You'll hear about it from my social media outlets, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and you'll also see it on finish line stuff. But when it comes out, I will be letting you know. Jamie Clark says, what I think about the Paul George injury in the Team USA scrimmage. We've already addressed that. Malcolm Stevens says, who is my favorite player to watch in the NBA? If I had to pick one player to watch, I'd probably have to go with LeBron James right now, or Kobe Bryant, either one. Cliff Stevens says, in the weekly motivation a while back, you said if someone's not motivated to play ball, then playing ball isn't what you should be doing. You basically said you need to find your passion. My question is, how do you find the thing that you are passionate about in life? Well, you don't find a thing that you're passionate about. When you're passionate about something, you don't have to find it. It finds you. You already have it. You already know what you're passionate about. You have to ask yourself, where is your energy going? What is it that you're doing? Ask yourself this. If you woke up tomorrow and you had $100 million and you didn't need to go to work no more and you didn't have to go to school, what would you do? How would you spend your day? You're not just going to lay in a pile of money and count your money all day. You can't lay on the beach for the rest of your life. What would you do? Where would your energy go? Would you go play basketball? Would you go make music? Would you go start a charity and help kids? What would you do? Ask yourself that. That's what your passion is. What were you like as a kid? What did you want to be as a child? What were the things that excited you? And actually, someone who gave an even better answer than that is Robert Greene, who was just mentioned a few minutes ago. He wrote a new book. His latest book is called Mastery. And one of the main points of that book is figuring out what it is that you love. What is your passion in life? And he goes into a very detailed description of how you can find that passion better than I just did if you were to read that book. Again, it's called Mastery, and the author is Robert Greene with an E on the end. Next question. Luke Ferenze says, are there any tips or drills I can do to get better at shooting off the dribble? I shoot good when I spot up, but off the dribble, I'm not a good shooter. Thanks, Dre. Keep up the good work. Luke, of course, if you actually go to my channel, go to the playlist, and you'll see a couple playlists called Scoring Moves for Shooters. And those are specifically drills that you can do where you're actually dribbling the basketball and then shooting. So it's some kind of move, some type of combination of moves. Might only be one or two dribble moves, but it's a jump shot off the dribble, which is exactly what you're asking me about. It's called Scoring Moves for Shooters. I think I got 4 of those playlists, because on YouTube, your playlist limit is 200 videos. So if you do the math, that means it's over 600 videos already posted to YouTube. That is exactly what you asked me about. If you're looking for a more structured, something detailed or programmed, I say hoophandbook.com. Scoring off the dribble, jump shots, I say Allen Iverson, Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is also a real good one. Those are the first 4 I think of off the top of my head, but it's like over 30 programs on that site, so go there and check out the descriptions and you find the one that's best for you. Next question, Swing Eagle. It says, my dream is to become an NBA player, so I want you to give me some advice on how to improve my game. I wake up every day at 6 a.m. and I practice 3 to 5 hours a day. You want me to give you some advice on how to improve your game? Swing Eagle, you got to ask me a little bit better question than that. Advice on how to improve your game. You're here, because obviously you know what I do here on YouTube. I posted over 3,000 videos here. There are drills, skills, tips, motivation, mental game stuff on the court and off the court that is specifically driven to help you improve your game. So you got to ask me something better than tips on how to improve your game. I've already done that more than anybody else on YouTube, more than all the rest of these dudes put together. If you want something more detailed and structured, as I mentioned earlier, check out hoophandbook.com that has a detailed 30-day signature workout programs where there's no guesswork involved. All you got to do is read it and do what it says. And I know you know how to read, so you're good. Next question. Sat Dead said, what's up, Dre? Next. Who's asking you about Paul George injury? All right, so I guess he knew a bunch of people had already asked me about that. What I think about that, I know it's stupid. 1 month ago, I asked you how to treat a rolled ankle. I rolled it the same way that Paul George broke his leg. I'm lucky. Yeah, I understand that. I've seen people roll their ankle the same way Paul George broke his leg. So I do get that point. What I think about the injury, I've already said that. And I mean, there's nothing else to say. I already went over what I think about Paul George's injury, and Saturday, you probably already heard me say it at this point in the video. Next question, Balling Like the Raptors says, Dre, when a kid asked you about what basketball biography would be good to read, you said yourself, it made me laugh. Other than that, keep doing your thing. Well, I really meant that. Balling like the Raptors, so I'm glad I made you laugh. Next question, Amazing 144 says, Dre, when you're trying to stay in shape and stay fit, would you say drinking soda or juice is bad because all the calories, and drinking water would be best, right? Yes, absolutely. Soda has a ton of sugar in it. Soda, there's no reason. If you're an athlete, there's no reason for you to be drinking soda. I don't give a damn what you're doing, where you at. Soda is no good. There are no circumstances where soda is good. Juice. A lot of people are under the false impression that fruit juice is actually good for you. It's actually not. Fruit juice has a lot of added sugar in it. Eating an orange is better than drinking orange juice. Orange juice has a lot of added sugar, so yes, if you want to drink something, drink water. You don't need nothing else. Jay Shilka says, in the last video, I asked, how do you finish over bigger defenders? I'm a point guard and I get blocked because I'm predictable. I'm getting blocked and laying on reverse layups. Some guys trailing me. I try to go fast on the layup and miss it. Well, listen, Jace, you need to play in more games and you need to practice more. I mean, I understand that you're getting blocked and you're missing layups. There's only so much that I can tell you. At some point, you got to go out there and actually do the work. I could train you if you were in South Florida, but you're not in South Florida. I would suggest you take a look at some Hoop Handbook signature workout programs. You're talking about finishing as an undersized player. Allen Iverson, Tony Parker, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul. These are all programs. Jason Williams, Gary Payton, Stephon Marbury, Steve Francis. These are all programs of players who play the point guard position who were good at finishing, even though they were often one of the smaller guys on the court, which is your situation. So you just need to develop the skills, and you need to develop the intuition, the feel for the game, which comes from playing. The skills come from practicing. So you just need to do more of that. The game is not just going to happen just because somebody told you something or you thought or read something. You got to actually go out and experience it. Trickster HD says, what is the shortest height for a power forward? There's no such thing. No such thing as the shortest height for a power forward. Your position is the position you can play. Of course, your size is going to play a factor, but there is no like, all right, if you're this size or this size, you have to play power forward. That doesn't happen, and you probably already know that. Marcus James says, Dre Baldwin, I enjoy watching your vids. I have developed a tight handle using drills you have provided now and in the past. Glad to hear that. How can I make my crossover moves more effective? How can I make sure I don't stay in the same place when I'm dribbling? How can you make them more effective? You just got to practice more. You got to practice more and play more so you develop a feel for what works and when to use it. And you have to practice more so that you actually have something to use. So you got some tricks in your bag. We call it in your bag. Like, that's your bag of tricks, the skills that you have at your disposal. I would suggest to you also, Marcus, check out hoophandbook.com. Kyrie Irving signature workout program is a good one for crossovers. Allen Iverson, James Harden also. Baller says, Dre, I'm 5'7". I can shoot from mid-range and 3, and I know how to get my shot off the dribble. But what should I do when I run out of moves? Can you make a video on penetration and then passing it out? Also, I get posted up a lot because I'm short. It's really frustrating. How can I stop them from scoring? Because I use my legs and still get scored on. Thanks, you're very good. All right, baller. Well, first of all, thank you. You're 5'7", and you say, what do I do when I run out of moves? There's no such thing as running out of moves, baller. If you run out of moves, that probably means that you're memorizing moves and think that you got move number 1, 2, 3. That's not how basketball works. Any skill that I give you, you can come up with a million different options to use that one skill. So you had to practice more so that you develop more skills. I put out over 3,000 vids here. So if you was to take every single one and make a move out of it, you had 3,000 moves. And I don't think you've done 3,000 basketball moves so that you would run out. And that's just if you took each one of those as one at a time. You could take any 10 and come up with 1,000 moves just from those 10 combinations, those 10 different skills. So it's not how basketball works. There is no finite number of moves to come up with. So if you run out of moves, you need to spend some more time practicing. You need to play in more games to develop more feel. Now, as far as getting scored on in the post, you're a smaller player. If you're playing against somebody bigger than you who can play, they probably will score on you in the post. You're a small player. I would suggest maybe try fronting players, use your size. I mean, not your size, use your quickness. Try to get up in front of them, make them force the lob pass, and then your teammates need to help you with the lob. But if you 5'7" going to a guy 6'7", and he knows how to play, he's probably going to score on you. There's nothing you can do about it. You can attack their dribble if they happen to put the ball on the floor, but your job in the post on defense, a friend of mine said they used to call it doing your homework. You want to try to get position on them before they get down there calling for the ball. You try to beat them to the spot they want to get the ball at, force them into a tougher shot. If you need strength, I say check out Hoop Handbook's Position of Power program, which is a 10-week strength training program. D-Rod says, Dre, I have solid handles. I'm really fast and quick while dribbling, but I was wondering if you have any tips or vids that will help with changing direction and stopping while dribbling. Of course, D-Rod, if you actually go to my channel in the playlist, you go to the ball handling playlist, you'll see a bunch of vids on handling the ball, which I do both stationary and moving. And also, if you check out the driving moves playlist and scoring moves for shooters playlist, I do the same thing. Drills, driving to the basket, drills for shooting. These are all stuff that you can do off the dribble. So you are not limited to being in one place. And you said changing direction, stopping while dribbling. These are all things you could just make up your own drill. Changing direction while you're dribbling. Go full court. Change direction. Go this way, boom. Change direction, go that way. Then stop and start. Go full speed. Slow down. Go half speed. Speed up. Change direction again. This is all stuff you can just do on the court by yourself. Maybe I will make a vid of me doing that so then people can see it. But I understand a lot of you would rather see something than hear me say it. So maybe I will make a vid on that. That's one thing that I haven't actually done. So good question. David Merchant. We got a lot of good questions today. I feel like I've been talking a long time. David Merchant says, Dre, I want to strengthen my left leg to be equal with my right, but I think I have patellar tendonitis in my left leg. How can I make my leg stronger without continuing to make it swell? Should I take a break from playing or keep playing? David, if your leg continues to swell, you need to see a trained professional, such as a physician, a sports physician, or an actual doctor. I cannot diagnose and tell you what to do with that. I don't want to give you any bad information that cause you to injure yourself or hurt yourself even further. You need to see a professional about that. I would suggest putting ice on it, elevating it, resting, compressing it. The Rice method, R-I-C-E. You can look that up on Google. Jeezy Dog PSN says, how do you work on absorbing contact in the paint? Which program do I think will work best for that? Which hoop handbook? If you need to work on absorbing contact in the paint, that's not really a skill thing. You need to actually play against somebody that's giving you contact in the paint. So you need to go find somebody to be your workout partner, drive to the hole, and have them actually give you contact, knock you down or hit you with their hands, hit you with some pads or whatever. But yeah, you can't really work on it in an empty gym. You you want to work on absorbing contact, you need to go absorb some contact, real contact. GS Basketball says, I love your videos, keep up the good work. Thank you, GS Basketball. He says, the high school I'm going to doesn't have a basketball program. Would it be a good idea to play in a rec league or something else? Also, my knees have been very sore for 2 weeks. I think it's growing pains. As far as your knees, it's hard for me to say. I can't really say just off that information if it's growing pains, and even if you gave me more, I'm not qualified to really answer that question. I can't say why your knees have been sore. It's a million different reasons why your knees could be sore, man. I don't have enough information to go off of to give you an answer. As far as you go to school and have a basketball team, if you want to play basketball, yeah, you need to go find a team and play basketball. So yes, playing in a rec league would be a good idea if playing basketball is what you want to do, which I'm assuming it is. Denver Kaluza says, what's my worst injury? I haven't had any bad injuries, knock on wood. Ahmed Masood says, do I feel like I'm better than both members of Kick Genius? Better than them at what? eZiggy 1000 says, can I give some tips on ball defense? eZiggy, if you actually go to search bar up there, type in Dre Baldwin defense and tips, you'll see a bunch of videos on that. Got a whole playlist dedicated to defense. Carlitos 220 says, all the NBA teams logos, which one's your favorite? Which one would you rock? Somebody asked me that last week, Carlitos. Super Cool 242 says, what's up, Dre? I'm a big fan. Thank you, Super Cool. Anyways, I play the 2-guard. I want to develop better handles and try and decide between Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, and Jamal Crawford's signature workout program. Can I explain the difference between them or help them decide which one to get? Well, the difference between them you could actually read on the hoophandbook.com website, and you can read the program descriptions of each one so that you can see in words the difference between the three. And I couldn't tell you the difference here on video because the descriptions are very detailed, and I'm not going to sit here and read them to you. So if you go to the site, you can look at them, but if you play the 2-guard position, I suggest you get a 2-guards program. So Jamal Crawford would be a good one. James Harden is another good option. Paul George, Kevin Durant are also good options, even though, of course, Kevin Durant kind of played both, so does Paul George. But you get the point. Austin Flynn says, when was the first time I made a basketball team? You should read my book. Austin is called Buy a Game. DreAllDay.com/buy a game is completely free. BUYAGAME. Alec Pitter says, one of my thoughts on Paul George's injury was my reaction. Again, I've already addressed that, Alec. Lemon and Demon says, I didn't explain my question clearly enough, whatever he asked last week. He says he wants to improve his handles in game situations. Is it enough to do stationary drills, or would he have to practice situations that may come up in a game, dribbling right and left, crossing over, etc., etc.? Why do you have to do one or the other? Why can't you do both? What's stopping you? Travis says, do I watch the WNBA? Do I think Skylar Diggins can beat an NBA bench player? Do I watch the WNBA? Not really. Do I think Skylar Diggins can beat an NBA player in a game? Hell no. Yeah, now 0611 says, Dre, I want to know that like many people, I do drills and weightlifting and strength training in one day, but in the middle, during my workouts, my knees are dead. I do put a good amount of ice, but if there's anything else I can do to help my knees, I feel it affects my performance, so I can't go full speed. Well, if you're putting ice on your knees, you probably just need some more rest. I mean, there's only so much working out you can do. If your knees are bothering you, it's affecting your performance, then that's your body giving you a message, telling you to stop, slow down, sit the hell down somewhere, and give me some rest so I can perform the way that you need me to perform. That's what your body is saying to you, so you need to listen to it. NBA Everything 1 says, you could play alongside any NBA player, who would it be? If I had to pick one guy, I'd say Kobe. Beastful 5555 says, I'm a fast point guard. I like to get to the hoop and attack him with one-on-one moves. What signature workout would be good for me? You're a fast point guard. You like to get to the hoops one-on-one. Tony Parker is good. Kyrie Irving is good. Chris Paul is good. If you want to go back, I say Stephon Marbury is good. Allen Iverson is good. Steve Francis is good. Gary Payton is good. Jason Williams, White Chocolate Jason Williams, he's also good. NBA 2K Top 10 says, if you watch Kyrie Irving play, a lot of times he will put his body against the defender and finish. Is there any way to work on that? Yes, somebody just asked me that. If you ask Kyrie how he worked on it, he'll probably tell you that when he practices, he has somebody actually beat a body that he works on finishing against. You can't work on finishing against contact if you're playing against nobody. You can't play one-on-none and work on contact. You need a person. You want to work on contact, you need somebody to actually give you real contact so that you can work on finishing through it. Matthew Eastman says, you had to choose another sport to play, what would it be? And I love your vids, keep up the good work. If I had to choose another sport to play, I would say tennis, because it's more individual. Basketball, 5-on-5, tennis, I think, would be the sport. Malik Watkins says, my left hand's getting better, but still needs a bit work. Varsity tryouts are coming up in November. Time isn't on my side. What should I do? Why isn't time on your side? It's the beginning of August. You got 3 months. How is time not on your side? All you need to do is go to the search bar up there, type in Dre Baldwin left hand. You'll see the left hand circuits. You do those every day for 90 days, your left hand won't be an issue no more. Falcon says, when you played overseas, did you bother to learn any other languages? If you had to pick one of the European cities you played in, had in all caps. Which one would you choose to permanently live in, based on how you like the environment, the people, the food, etc.? Did I bother to learn any other languages? I know Spanish. I'm pretty good with Espanol. If I had to pick one of the cities I played in, which one would I choose to permanently live in? That's a good question. I had to pick one city to permanently live in, I probably had to go with Kaunas, Lithuania, because it was the biggest city. I'm from Philadelphia. I live in Miami, so I'm used to big cities. I like a big metropolis. I'll probably go with Kaunas, Lithuania. Casey Murphy says, am I pumped that Nike is doing Summer is Serious again this year? I'm intrigued by Summer is Serious. I wouldn't say I'm pumped. I'll only be pumped if I get chosen to play in it, but otherwise I'm intrigued. Mr. Bear Blast says, Dre, what's up? I was wondering what you think about the Nike Fuel Band. Do you recommend it for basketball players and anyone wanting to stay fit and healthy for everyday life? Does it fall off while playing basketball or any other activity? Thanks, man. Stay blessed. Oh, thank you, Mr. Bear Blast. First of all, when I think about the Fuel Bands, I love the Fuel Band. I got it on right now. I wear it every day. Let's see where I'm at right now. You can see the time, 12:33. I think that's what it says, my fuel for the day. I hit my goal already. Let's see if it gives me my fuel. It doesn't. My Nike fuel right now is 42.55. So I do like the Nike Fuel Band. No, it does not fall off while you're doing anything. If you're playing basketball and there's contact, somebody slaps you on the wrist, it might fall off. Then you just pick the shit up and put it back on. That happens to me sometimes. Sometimes when I play 5-on-5, I'll take it off if I'm getting hit a lot. But most of the time, like working out by yourself, no, it's not gonna fall off at all. What I recommend it, the Nike Fuel Band doesn't make you stay fit and healthy. Nike Fuel Band just tells you what activity you're doing. You can be fit and healthy without the Fuel Band. So the Fuel Band is not gonna make you do anything. The Fuel Band just tells you what you are doing. So what I recommended, I mean, if you want it, you can get it. If you don't. It doesn't have any effect on your performance and what you actually do. So if you want to get it measured, because me, I'm just a workout freak. I'm the type of person who will work out all the time, even if I wasn't an athlete. If that's you, I'd say the Fuel Band would be a good device. There are a lot of different companies coming out with competing devices nowadays also. Fag Gag says, when you made your high school team, did you still work on your game as hard as before? Of course. I mean, my high school team, I was sitting on the bench, so of course I worked on my game. I worked on my game even more. And if you read my book, Buy a Game, you can read about what I was doing in more details on that story. Ryan Comito says, do I think it's bad to use supplements at the age of 13, such as whey protein, creatine, and so on? Absolutely yes. 13, you don't need to be taking no supplements. You're way too young to be putting anything extra in your body. Your body's still growing. Let it grow. Manny Fresh says, Dre, I watch your vids and stuff. My coach thinks I run too fast. What do you recommend I should do to make myself slower? Manny Fresh, I think you need to get some more details from your coach. Because that question don't make any sense to me. I don't think that's exactly what your coach meant. I think you need to get some more details and bring them back to me if you wish. Byron Robinson says, correct me if I'm wrong, but you should interview the guys over at I Love Basketball TV, similar to your channel with training and tutorials. Well, Byron, it's not about being right and wrong, it's just a matter of opinion, so an opinion can't be wrong. But I should interview them because they're similar to my channel with training and tutorials, then why interview them? What are they bringing to the table that you aren't already getting here? If they do training and tutorials, then they already behind me, because I started doing training and tutorials on YouTube. Anybody else who's doing them is just coming after me. And I've done more of them than anybody. And I don't know, people might take that the wrong way, but hey, that's the truth. When you're saying the facts, it's just the facts. The reason I did Q&As with other people, Pro Shot Shooting System, Kick Jeans, Devin Williams, Nightwing, Big Brandon Carter, Verse 1 Federation, Fomer Simpson. I did Q&As with those guys because they bringing something to the table that you don't get from listening to me. So if somebody else is just doing tutorials and drills on YouTube of basketball, then what are they bringing to the table that I'm not? Now I can see one of them interviewing me because I was out before them and I've done more than all of them. But why would I need to interview them? If you could give me a good reason why, I'll do it. I mean, I'm open-minded to it, but you got to give me a better reason than they do the same thing as you. If that makes sense, hopefully that makes sense to y'all. Mike Pucci says, for daily dribbling drills and daily combo vid, is that what you did as a kid? As a kid, I wasn't really playing basketball. I didn't start playing until I was about 14. So no, what I did as a kid, none of the stuff you see on YouTube I was doing as a kid because I wasn't even playing basketball, period. Only a few questions left here. Junior Munoko, actually it's the last question. Junior Munoko says, ever planned on playing in the NBA when I was in high school or college? Yeah, of course. When I was in high school or college playing basketball, everybody on the team thought they was going to play in the NBA, at least in high school, not in college. In college, a lot of people knew it was like, all right, I'm playing in college. When it's over, it's over. But in high school, everybody think they're going to make the NBA. I'm sure any of you in high school now, everybody on your team, like, yeah, I'm going to the league. They might not say it, but they definitely think they got a chance. So, yes, I definitely thought that. So thank you, everybody, for the questions. Again, you want your questions answered, leave them in the comments to this video. I will address them in next week's Q&A. Please don't respond to anybody's questions. Just let me get to them when I get there. One question per person, please. That's it. That's all. It's a long Q&A this week. Y'all asking good questions. I'm glad I kept this going. Y'all asking me very good questions. Got me talking a lot. The more I'm talking, the better the questions are. When I'm giving short answers, that means I'm getting whack-ass questions. But this week, I think definitely one of the best Q&As so far. So for those of you who are still watching at this point, thank you for the questions. Again, leave your comments Leave your questions in the comments to this video. I get to it next week. Work on your game. Hoops meet up tomorrow, 8 a.m. Flamingo Park, Miami Beach. DreAllDay.com. Appreciate y'all watching this video. Just so you know, every Saturday, it's Q&A Saturday, as I said in the vid. So make sure you hit the like button on this video, share it with all your friends on your Twitter and also on your Facebook. Leave comments if you got questions or anything else you want to say, and check back next week for more Q&A. Work on your game.